my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and I'm joined with my good friend Mark Olroyd from
Yeah.
Suddenly Comics. And do you actually have your shirt on too? Are we
And it's
both
not Stanley
representing?
Comics shirt, it's a Silver Surfer shirt.
Uh, oh, okay. Well, okay. I was like, oh, are we both representing?
I
And
do have
no,
I do have a Suddenly Comics t-shirt, but I'm not wearing it.
that's a shame. Um, so yeah, so actually, I realized that I bought these extra shirts. This is like from a local vendor that I just wanted something quick that I could get printed off. These shirts aren't that great. The ones that are actually on my store are better. These ones don't breathe. These ones don't breathe. So I'm just like, why am I so hot?
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, so you learn, right? You
Yeah.
learn these things. Speaking of learning, I'm doing my Kickstarter and that is going interesting. Basically it's a Kickstarter for setting up like talking about Golden Age girls, and I call it Vixens of the Golden Age. It's, pinup plus a little bit of history about the girls from the Golden Age. So if you want to check that out, check out the link in the description below. But let's get into the real thing that you're here for: the Silver Age, the hottest books of the Silver Age. And this list, there's actually one book. Like, there's a couple books that Mark will always cringe at, but there's one book I'm pretty sure Mark will really like.
Yeah, so
So
I'm gonna let you off for
get
having
into it.
the usual suspects on my list because you've got a special one on your list. So uh,
Yeah.
yeah, my
So,
screen.
so so there's actually good reasons behind the two that I put on your list that you love so much. And by the way, speaking of love, I really love the cover of this book.
Me too. I've never seen it before. When I saw it, I thought
Actually,
I've never seen that.
after like making the list, I was like, oh, I gotta find this book.
Yeah,
I was searching eBay, and so yeah. It's a really, I just think it's a brilliant cover.
it's a great cover. I've never seen it before. Paul Craig.
Supposedly it's the first appearance of Medusa, and cover appearance. That's Medusa.
Right.
So it doesn't say it on the slab though, which is
No,
interesting.
and it doesn't look like Medusa because she hasn't got snakes. But and
Oh, I think that's snakes in her hair. I think the green hair, the
okay,
she's kind of Medusa-like.
yeah. And I don't remember her having fire demons as a body. But anyway,
Well, that's, they gotta make it their own thing, make it unique. But I think it's just a really nice looking cover. I
it is a
just,
great looking cover. I agree.
yeah,
How
it's
much
like,
this sold for? $67, Alan.
I know, doesn't that seem really cheap?
It does seem cheap. I did buy a number of items from this week's Heritage show. So I
Hmm.
did have a look through all the comics for sale. And I very nearly bid on this. I wish I had done. That's sort
Yeah,
of minimum. That's minimum bid. That's about $30. That half of that's buyer's premium.
yeah, half of that's buyer's premium.
So that would have sold for about $32.
Now I looked up like on eBay how much these kind of go for. Like there's one that I was looking at which was a 7.5, and it's, you can probably get it for around $50. So it's, this is kind of on the low end. I just thought this was
That
such
was
a,
cheap. I bought three. I bought three. I went in and lowballed on about 8 or 9 different comics and won three of them. I won three Lois Lanes for about this type of money.
oh wow, Lois Lanes are awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Lois Lane number
Okay.
8, one of them was for about $70.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to get a Lois Lane collection going. I just have three missing now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, so that's my goal is to finish the run of Lois Lane. Just three away. Okay, so yeah, so how did this book do compared
Right.
to
So let's
the
have a look. I mean, my guess is there's not many of these. Yeah. So it's sort of
flats?
flattish. Yeah. So the last one of these in this grade sold 7 years.
That's the inflation adjusted price. You got to look at the blue line.
All right. So in fact, if you just look at the blue, it's slightly higher, isn't it? 65 to 67. It's gone up $2 in 7 years.
That's a massive increase. Like this will be the title of the video. Massive increase for Silver Age comic. Okay.
Well, yeah. Um, but it is a nice looking comic. I have to say, I'm going to keep my eyes open for a decent raw copy.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably pay 15 to 20 quid for a decent raw.
Yeah. When I was looking at the raws, you can get them from anywhere from $10 to
Yeah.
$20. That's generally what they seem to be going for. But beautiful, beautiful cover. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
like it. I like it.
How many on the census, actually? Just
Oh, it
quickly.
won't be many. Well, then nobody's bothered to get these graded. 55.
55. I mean, well, that's actually fairly high considering it's not a key.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, well, it is
when the
to
comic's
be
worth
said, but
when the comic's worth $30, it's not worth spending $30 getting it slammed, is it?
yeah, so that's why I'm like, I think, the people that got it slabbed are probably ones that are saying, hey, I really like the cover.
Yeah.
Just like, here's, I just want to display the silly thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I thought it was interesting. Does it say who did the cover?
So the art, Dick Dillon, I think.
Dick Dillon.
Well, the
Very
artists were
nice.
Dick Dillon, Henry Boltinoff, and Sheldon Moldoff.
Okay, interesting. Very nice cover.
Dick Dillon does some of the art on. I came across him the other day. Does some of the art on House of Mystery.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
There's some really brilliant covers in that as well.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, nice. Okay, so I just thought when I saw it, I just had to put it on the list. It's like one of those comics where it was love at first sight for me. I don't know. I really liked it. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. Some of the early House of Mystery. So the ones there's a phase where it did Martian Manhunter, and then it did Dial H Hero, and then it became the horror anthology. So the ones before the Martian Manhunter, quite a few of those are Dick Dillon covers.
Okay. 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 What's number 2 on the list?
Number 2 on the list is Black Cat Mysteries or Black
It's
Cat.
just Black Cat, I think, at this point. So this is the second last issue of the run.
Ah, okay. This is one of your characters, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah. This is one of the characters in my Kickstarter too. So
Okay.
the Black Cat. Just interesting cover. Like got the devil on the cover. Black Cat really didn't make it very far into the Silver Age. Like,
Good cover.
yeah. And it's like this is by Harvey.
Yeah, Harvey. Not a name you usually associate with the Devils
Yeah.
horror.
But they did, actually Harvey did a lot of pre-code horror, which is so funny. They're doing Casper and pre-code horror. And it looks or almost like a Pandora's box thing
Yeah,
going on there.
yeah.
Um,
I think this is one of the ones I lowball bid on.
oh really?
Yeah, so when I
Oh,
was looking at it pre-auction, it would have been, I think it was sitting at around $50. And I thought, oh, okay, I'll put a bit, I could put a bid of about $60, $70 on it, but I didn't get it.
yeah. I mean, there are a lot of Black Cat fans out there like that, like do collect her.
Yeah,
I've sort of inspired a few of those. I feel like, um, so yeah, it's just I think these last few issues in the run, even though it was just like how runs at the end are always kind of petering out, and they just don't print that many,
yeah,
so
that's
they're
right.
quite rare.
So $216.
For a nine.
Yeah, I mean that sounds quite high to me. Let's have a look. Ah, that's a strange graph. Uh,
Yeah, there
down,
was one crazy peak
it's
that.
down from the previous sale, which was 289. And if
Yeah,
that price there too is, yeah, it's a sort of pre-COVID price.
I don't know what's the peak price there.
The peak price
When
was, oh, this is pre-COVID. That peak was pre-COVID because it's 2018.
Yeah, I don't think this would be a book that would be like
723.
like during COVID.
So its peak is 723. So 216 is
Wow.
not a bad buy, is it?
Yeah, no, it's So it probably what happened was this book probably doesn't come up that often, and somebody just went, that went crazy on it.
Well, in this grade, there's been 3 sales
Yeah.
in 5 years. Yeah,
Yeah. So like once every couple of years,
yeah,
basically.
yeah, yeah.
So sometimes that's people will overpay just for that because they won't see it again for a while, and there's a bit of that FOMO effect. Um, I mean, how many on the census altogether? I bet those are file copies too.
15.
15. Again, this is a book that only in super high grade do people bother getting it graded.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
Right.
wow, 15.
Up to the next one now. This is my really pleased to see this one here. Okay, so
Mm. I
those
thought
of
you would like this one.
you who don't know about this, this is a British reprint. There was a guy in London called Alan Class who, during the 19 from about 1960 through to about 1985, he had the right to reprint a number of different American comics, and he had the right on Marvel. And the most expensive Alan, there are over 1,000 Alan Class comics. Okay,
Oh
uh,
wow.
and
I didn't realize there was that many.
yeah, yeah. It's about 4 or 5 main titles. One of the main titles is Creepy Worlds, and the most valuable Alan classes are Creepy Worlds 32, which reprints Fantastic Four issue 1, 33,
Right?
34, 35, 36. So those 4 or 5 issues of Creepy Worlds reprint the Fantastic Four very shortly after the original. Uh,
Okay.
so probably
So are they pre the golden record?
I think they are pre-Golden Record, yes.
Because I know that Alan Class didn't date the books. He didn't say
No, no,
this is when they came
there's
out.
no dating on, but uh, these ones are quite famous, and they're quite hard. Well, they're rare, um, and to get them in a decent condition, and 4.5 is a decent condition for this. Quite difficult. In fact, Alan, there is not these are not on Go Collect, so there's no graph on Go Collect. um
Oh, okay.
so I can't show you a Go Collect graph. What I have done though is I'll
Okay.
show you the eBay sold.
Okay.
So there we
Yeah, I
go.
mean sometimes that's what you have to do, right? You have
Yeah,
to look at like comparatives, right?
eBay sold from 18th of March, and one sold for £448. So
Okay.
that's about $500, but it's ungraded
But
raw.
what can you figure out what the grade would
Uh,
be or
what do they say? They probably say it looks reasonable. I would have said it's probably about a 4 or 5. Um,
okay.
I wonder if the person says. Quite often they don't. Uh,
Yeah, usually they say,
it,
use the pictures to grade it for yourself kind of
yeah,
thing.
see picture for details.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Actually, this is not bad for a Dallin class. I would say maybe even better than the 4 or 5. No, it's got somebody's name written on the front of it. I'd say 4.0, 4.5.
Okay. So similar
I'd
grade.
say
Similar grade.
similar grade, but it's not. It hasn't been slabbed, and that sold for £448, which is around $500. So
Okay.
this sale here for 408, I think, was a pretty good deal.
Okay.
I'm not sure I would sell. I've got this, and I think mine's a 5.0. Uh,
Okay.
I'm not
And do
sure.
you know what the census is like for this book
Yeah,
or
funny you should ask that, Alan. Is the CGC census. There are
okay.
14 graded copies.
Wow. So super rare.
Very rare, yeah. 14 graded copies. There are 3 4.0s, 3 4.5s, and 1.5.0. I think that's my copy.
And
The
that's the highest grade?
highest graded is a 7.0. Yeah,
Wow. So I mean, when the highest grade is a 7,
yeah,
that's like that really shows that this book is rare.
yeah. I
Yes.
mean, these things were not produced to be, they were for kids to buy on holiday and got rolled up and put in the back pockets. And
Mhm.
nobody thought, Alan Class reprints were ever going to be worth anything, including Alan himself. I am going to tell you a story. I think I've probably told you before.
Okay.
So, Alan was the agent. Alan had an agent who he bought the rights to reprint the comics from. I think they were called World Trade anyway. Anyway, he goes to see his agent in London one week, and the guy says, "Oh, we've got a new comic coming out from Marvel. It's called Fantastic Four. Are you interested in it?" So Alan said, "Yes, I'm interested in that." And the guy said,
Okay.
"Well, I'll tell you what. I've got a copy here." So he gives him a Fantastic Four #1.
I remember this.
Alan,
Yeah.
Alan takes it. So, oh, thanks very much. He takes it back to his office. Anyway, about a week later, Alan's printer comes to see him. And the printer says, "Oh, we're going to be doing the Alan Class, the Fantastic Four first run next week. Have you got a color sample for me?" So Alan takes the Fantastic Four #1, rips the front page off, gives the front page to the printer, and puts the rest in the bin. I, I,
Oops.
I heard Alan tell this story himself, and he said, "I don't want to talk about it anymore. Please don't tell me it was worth over £1 million. It's now worth over £1 million." Yeah.
Yeah, so sad, so sad. But yeah, I mean, it was a different time though. In their minds, it's a 10 cent or 12 cent comic, right?
Yeah, well, it was a 12-cent comic.
Yeah,
It was new, and then it just come out, and it said 12 cents on it.
yeah, yeah. Oh well, is he still around? Is he still alive?
He's still alive. He's in his
Oh,
90s.
okay.
Occasionally he does it. He's quite friendly with 30th century comics and sells. I bought a number of stuff directly from him,
Oh,
um,
wow.
via 30th century. Well, not directly from him, but one step removed from him, because he sells his stuff through a company called 30th Century Comics. Um,
Interesting.
and I've got a number of Alan Class comics with certificates of authenticity signed by Alan. Uh,
That's very cool.
yeah. Um,
Wow.
so yeah, interesting. There you go. That's enough about that. Let's move on.
No, that's a great comic. I mean, it's just cool. And I happen to have the first of the 32 from you. I got
You
that.
do, yes. So you're right. I've forgotten about that. Yes, I
Mhm.
picked up an Alan Class Fantastic Four #1. I think was it a 2.0?
Yeah, the one I have is a 2.0. Yeah.
Yeah, and a 2.0, and then I upgraded and found a 4.0, or was it a
Mhm.
4.5? And I said, and I did
We
offer it.
did a little trade.
Alan traded with me. So
Yeah.
Alan does have an Alan Class Creepy Worlds 32.
Yeah.
Right, now
Okay.
we've
So
seen this one before.
we've seen this one before, and it's one of my favorite innuendo covers.
Yes.
It's just so it's so silly. And can you read this thing for people so that people can
Archie, did
enjoy?
you have any trouble rescuing me? I sure did, Betty. I had to beat off three other guys.
And they make the beat off part like in
Yeah.
red big letters. It's
Yeah.
like,
Now, you did have a discussion about whether this was intended innuendo or accidental innuendo. You think
I
it's
mean,
deliberate, don't you?
I think there's like, they love the double meanings. They love the double meanings. But they do show that the guys are beaten up.
Yeah, they do.
Uh,
Yeah.
but they said beat off.
Yes.
Usually you say beat up
Yeah.
three other guys, but beat off. Just the word choice was a little interesting.
Yeah. It's a great comic, this. Right.
Yeah.
I do like these Archie innuendo covers. You've got this one, haven't you?
Yes, yeah. This one usually goes for crazy money,
Right.
even
I
in
think
low
this is
grade.
down, Alan.
I have a feeling this is down a lot, actually.
492. It's down a half. It's down 50%.
Yeah, I would have guessed. Um, this is actually one of those comics where you can get, it's out there, and sometimes you can get a steal on it. Where, one day it'll go crazy, one day it'll just be like nobody nobody pays attention, and it's just you get it for cheap. Um,
This isn't common. This is only the third copy to sell since 2018, uh,
yeah,
and it sold for less than it sold for in 2018, which is odd.
yeah, it's crazy. So what did it sell in 2018?
It sold 777. Then it sold at, well, it's got one of those figures crossed out, so it sold
Oh,
at
it's a best
the
offer.
best
So
offer
that
on
doesn't mean
eBay.
anything. Yeah.
And then it sold for this one at 492, which is the
Yeah, down a few hundred. So yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why this would be down, to tell you the truth.
it's
I
just
think it's
I
just like
don't
one of those steals.
just when you're selling on heritage, there's no reserve. And if nobody's watching and it's just one person puts a low ballish bid in, you know.
So how many of these are on the census? I would imagine that it's not that
A
many.
few more of these, I would have thought. There's going to be more than
Like a
40.
couple hundred?
195, it's not huge.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have guessed around a couple hundred. So yeah. Um, so yeah, I mean that's reasonably rare, but the thing is how many Archie innuendo collectors are there out there, right? It's different than like Marvel or DC that might have a bit bigger collector base, right?
True, true. But you don't have to be an Archie collector. You could be just an innuendo collector.
I know, I know. I mean, this, I think this is one of those ones that has a bit of that universal appeal because people get the joke.
Yeah.
People would get the joke. Yeah. Um, yeah, I think, I don't know. I think that was a really nice pickup. Whoever got that,
Yeah, somebody's
congrats.
got a
That's a
bit
really
another
good one.
another bargain at Heritage. Right. Next up, we are moving on to hot stuff. Little Devil.
Yeah.
Number
So
three.
number three. So this is not necessarily a key or anything, but these hot stuff early issues are incredibly rare. And to get something where it's a hot stuff and also high grade, like
Hmm.
a 9.2 for a kid's book,
Is this a file copy?
I think
Great.
so. I think so. That's usually what happens, right? That's how they actually uh
No, it doesn't. Oh, you see, that's file copy. There you go.
yeah, yeah. That's the only way that you get them this high.
Yeah.
Once they're in the kids' hands, they don't.
It's not going to be a 9.2 anymore once kids got it.
Yeah. But such a cool book. It kind of reminds me of an old uh like tropical like some like orange thing where they have the straw sticking into it.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
kind of reminds me of that a little bit. I don't know why. It's like a Tropicana, I think is the name of the company. Oh, but with hot stuff. I don't know. So yeah, just a really cool one.
Cheap. I think this sounds cheap.
This looks cheap to me too, because I know how much hot stuff number one goes for, and it's crazy.
Yeah, look, this is down as
Look
well.
at it. Well, look at the blue line. Always get rid of the click on the thing at the bottom there.
Ah,
Like
if you
yeah.
look at the light blue line, that's a record sale.
Yeah.
That doesn't account
The,
for
the,
inflation though. So,
yeah. I always try to remove the purple line because it kind of throws people off a bit. Um,
well, I think it's
but
reasonable. $500 back in 2005 was more like
oh
$100.
yeah. So maybe not a great investment, but it has gone up technically. Um,
Just. So
just
in 20 years, 552 to 576. It's not the world's best investment, is it?
no, no.
I think
But it's not one that
my
people
bank
really.
takes better interest than that.
Yeah, I mean, hot stuff though is not like it's a semi-popular character, but not like everybody would know it or something like that. Yeah, I don't know how many hot stuff collectors there are out there. It's
Yeah,
a character.
well, they'll be reducing, Alan. If I said to anybody under 30 hot stuff, they wouldn't know what I was talking about.
Yeah, I feel like there's like, is there some like food brand or something that uses the characters like something I feel like
There is
uses the brand.
something that uses it. You're right. Or is it that it does appear somewhere? I think it's an
Yeah,
American.
American thing. So yeah, that's why I wasn't sure. But very iconic little character. These early ones are hard to find. Look at the census. I bet it's like under 100.
Oh, probably. Oh, 24.
Yeah, as I said, they're really rare, especially in high grade. Just
Well,
insanely
in
rare.
any grade.
Yeah. So just something to be aware of.
Mm, very rare.
So, I mean, these are the kind of things, though, that you can find in the dollar bin.
Yeah, I know. This is the type of comic. Occasionally, I'll buy a lot of comics at auction and there'll be something like this stuck at the bottom of it. Nobody knows what
Yeah.
it won't be in that.
People just don't.
It won't be in a 9.2. It'll be in a
Yeah. If you can find it in a high grade, that's when you got something. Even like I would say anything above like a 7 or 8 for this kind of book,
yeah,
that's really high grade.
yeah, yeah. Hmm. Okay.
Okay. So, and I think the next 5 are yours, right?
They are. They are.
So, okay. So there's some pretty big books on Mark's channel, and one of them is a usual, offender, I guess. But I put it on your list because of how bad it is.
I've seen it. I just why
It's
somebody would
so
pay.
bad
Yeah,
that it is. I actually was surprised by how much it sold for.
yeah.
So that's why I put it on your list. It's over on Mark's channel. You got to check it out. You got to see how bad this comic is. Go over to Mark's channel. You'll see. It
Yeah.
is really rough shape. Okay, so that's my plug for it. I think it's just worthy of checking out. Thanks for everyone for watching. Check out my Kickstarter. Check out Mark's channel. Bye for now.
Bye.